Welcome back to Camogie Talk, and in this segment we'll be speaking about the Liberty Insurance All-Ireland Intermediate Camogie final between Cork and Kilkenny, and with me is Laois star Sarah-Anne Fitzgerald. Sarah-Anne, you've played both teams this year and in the past. How do you feel this might go, or what are your general thoughts on the two finalists?
I think they're probably the two best teams to have got to the final, but I do think it's going to be a very close game. They're two very different teams, they're set up very differently. Kilkenny are very attack minded, where we found them when we played Cork not too long ago. They were very defensive, so that match-up itself is going to be very interesting to see how both sets of players and management cope with that. I know for ourselves it was a case of Cork relying heavily on their half-forward line midfields for their scores. When we played Kilkenny, they were very direct. It was old school hurling, get the ball into the full forward line, and they were able to take on the scores and get the points. So from that perspective, I think it's going to be an evenly close game, but it's one though I'm looking forward to see who can come out on top on that battle.
And generally within those frameworks, what are the strengths of those teams? Is it attacking wise, or are there key operators within that? There
is very much so key operators, but I think the game itself lies on between the half forward line, midfield and half back line of both sets of teams. Kilkenny have a very strong half back line in Adele Frisbee and Katie Nolan. They're two who were pains in our sides when we played them. They were very strong, drove forward, not afraid to attack, but tenacious defence as well, and very much on the ball and just on the line as well. You knew you played them after the game. Then when we played Cork, it was a case of the half forward line caused a lot of damage. Right. The likes of Sarah Fahey, Caitlin Hickey and Fionnuala Level caused a lot of damage, and their midfielders as well were able to attack and pick off scores from the half forward line and midfield line, which sometimes it's kind of forgotten about in camogie, but they were well able to pick their scores, the Cork side. But again I'd have to say with the Kilkenny half back line, it's going to be a massive battle between the two, the half forward line and the half back line on the day, and I think whoever comes out on top on that one will go on to win the All-Ireland. That's
very interesting, yeah. And are there any areas where you think maybe the opposition might target, where they think they might gain some ground that might be the difference?
I think Kilkenny have a very strong full forward line. A lot will depend on the team and the way Kilkenny set up on the day. Like Kiva Fennelly is an excellent girl to have in the full forward line, an excellent girl to have on any team. Anya Fahey, their captain, is a real leader, a real powerhouse of that team as well, and are well able to pick off scores. I think probably the crucial area is going to be the free takers. Two excellent free takers in Rachel O'Shea with Cork, and then with Ciara Holden with Kilkenny. When we played them both, I don't think either of them missed a free on the day. It's going to be a different setup here now in Croke Park, as the nerves are going to be kicked in a bit more. So I think a lot of pressure will rely on the free takers as well. They're both clinical free takers, but whether they can do it on the day is another story.
And listen, you mentioned that Croke Park experience, that factor, and it is a factor. You've seen both sides of the equation here, had days you want to forget and a great day last year. I mean, that first time, can it be a factor? Can it get in your head, the whole Croke Park thing?
It can, if you wanted to let it get into your head. I think these two teams are they have a different approach this year because all the focus is on their senior teams. I think the two panels are kind of sneaking in under the radar in terms of spotlight and media attention. So I think that would be beneficial to the two sets of teams. But definitely, look, it is an occasion. It's a day you'll never forget for all the reasons, really. But it's a factor if you let it be a factor. But at the end of the day, it's an All-Ireland you have to win, regardless of where it's being played. So it's a case of, park it to one side, run out that tunnel, and look, you're going to take your 5 minutes to look around, but it's a case of parking that and then going out to hurl the match.
Listen, you've given us the strengths, weaknesses, the tactical battles that'll be there. Who do you think will come out on top in the end with the trophy, and why?
Again, it's very hard to call, but first I think two sets of panels and management have to be complimented on getting this far, because a lot of the times the second team in the county can be forgotten about and all the focus is on the senior team. So I think huge credit has to go to both sets of players and management for reaching this far. Who's going to win? I just have a sneaking feeling that Kilkenny might do it. They were here not too long ago in 2014 and felt maybe they left that one behind them or didn't play up to their strengths that day. A lot of them girls are still here on the panel. So they have that experience behind them, and they probably want to right or wrong from that day. But I just think attacking camogie is the best way to go, and I just think if they can get the ball into the full forward line, I think they can cause serious damage in there, and I'd pick Kilkenny to win.
So Kilkenny it is for Sarah, and we certainly look forward to a great day's action with the three finals. We hope to see you all here.